please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of This Week at X. Today we're going to start with a tweet from Dexatu, included as a video. This couple have removed the bottom of their shoes so they can walk barefoot, ... It is a TikTok video where a couple do showcase they have a quite sizable collection of what could be considered foot coverings, because they go to extraordinary lengths, because they're idiots, to remove the soles. The whole point of a shoe, just before I play the clip, is to protect your foot, provide comfort and support for your foot. If you want to walk barefoot, walk barefoot. If walking into certain establishments means you're not allowed to, then follow the bloody rules. It's not cool, it's not quirky, it doesn't make you look interesting, it makes you look stupid, because you've found a way to accessorize your foot with something that can be considered equal to that of buying a new case for your phone. But at least with the phone case, it is actually performing the duty for which it was purchased for, as opposed to the shoe where it is providing no service because you've removed one of the key aspects and elements of it.
My husband and I have removed the bottoms of all of our shoes. We decided to start walking barefoot and one of our followers had a great idea. Since some businesses don't want us being completely barefoot, if we cut off the bottom of our shoes, it'll allow us to be barefoot but blend in with everyone else. This is a huge commitment, but we were willing to make it. These are our favorite shoes. Our shoe collection is worth more than $20,000.
You have to be a special kind of stupid to think that that is in any way acceptable decorum. If you want to be barefoot, just be barefoot. Simple as that, really.
But this is a sacrifice we're willing to take because walking barefoot means the world to us. The benefits of walking barefoot are priceless, so now our shoes are worth more than money could ever be. So today we got to work and started removing the bottoms. We weren't sure if this was going to be easy or hard, and it ended up being pretty easy. We made little shelves where our toes are and our heels are. We made a little lip on the bottom of the shoe where our toenails will go so they can latch on, so we'll actually be able to hold on to the shoe while trying to walk without the bottom. And we did the same thing for our heels.
So next, we go to Endymion. Stellar Blade developers fired employees for being woke feminists? Listen, you already sold me on the game, guys. You didn't have to now make me want to upgrade my pre-order to Deluxe Edition, because that's exactly what's gonna happen. Fan service and base devs? Oh hell yeah, brother! Included is an image. Now this image I have seen in a subreddit. Included in that are tweets from August of 2023. So this is coming to light from somebody else now in February. Just want to make it clear this is a little bit outdated. It should also be pointed out though, it was believed those involved in the development of this game, those that got fired because they pitched ideas for modern audiences that got rejected. It was also believed that actually the reason they were fired is not because they were feminists, but because they brought this all up during shareholder meetings. It is vitally important to understand context is key, but also this is not recent. This happened several months ago. So there are two types of stupid involved in this tweet. The second part of the stupid isn't the person tweeting it as if it is current, that's one issue I guess, but it's the person who complained on Twitter asking for everyone to boycott Stellar Blade when they themselves were just a contractor that happened to be a feminist, complaining about fan service. Context is vital. Now let's move on to a thread, a rather lengthy one, concerning Cognitive Thought, my friend who now runs the Cogs World YouTube channel, Salvo Pancakes, and an individual called Zannyberries. Cog, on his Twitter, had tweeted out, "I officially challenge Salvo Pancakes to a fight with Dan. If he is man enough to accept, you can count on me to be there with my phone camera, hiding behind my friend, cackling like Jabba the Hutt's little rat, while he does all the fighting for me." Zannyberries had retweeted this with, "Someone actually needs to beat the F out of Cog. Man's ego has gotten too big, acting on high and mighty because he recorded another man fight Ralph." You might notice here I've had to change words that have been blurred out, certain slurs that can't be used on YouTube, okay? Cog had retweeted them by saying, "Why don't you do it? Man called Anton, do you not realize that account is a Salvo Pancakes alt? He literally challenged you to a fight on his main account." Cog replies, "Well, he'd better make his way here then." Salvo, "Okay, is there a date and place that works best for you? Thoughts and opinions. If Cog tells you to go there instead, it's because he's afraid. He always goes to the fight because he never has to fight, and it's just an audience-sponsored holiday for the poor man. Let's go with that. If he wants you to go to Dudley, he's trying to get you to cancel. Salvo replies, I'll go whoever he wants to. Okay, that made sense. Cog, well, the UK for a start, genius. Salvo, okay, any place more specific so I can book accordingly. Feel free to DM if you want to keep details private. I don't leak DMs for real. Reply, Birmingham. Reply, I'm very serious about fighting you, so let's nail down an actual date where I know I can make it. Could middle of March work? Cog, you're buying the tickets. Does it work? Reply, good, so middle of March, the fight can happen on March 16th. Give myself a day to adjust to time change. Retweeted by Cog, he's serious guys, so March in Birmingham, super serial. Salvo later tweeted, hey Cogsworld, I'll see you soon with confirmation of the flight being booked from Fort Worth, Dallas to Birmingham, England. Cog retweets, see you then. Of course, if anything does change on this one, I will let you all know, because I'm interested to see how this one plays out. In truth, I hadn't been paying enough attention to see that Salvo and Cog had a discourse. Yes, a semi-cordial one of discussing a aggressive negotiation in a public setting. I'm not entirely sure who will win, but you have my attention at the very least. And if more does transpire or it gets cancelled, is rescheduled perhaps, of course I will provide an update. Unless you're not interested, in which case, don't worry, I'll also just ignore it as well. Moving on, we go to Boblax. Quotes. Make us look like clowns. Our standard. What we believe. Bro is talking like he's an official spokesperson for a political party. Bet he checks Keffel's Discord mod chat daily so he knows what political take to have. Included is a video.
Woke scolding, purity testing, this mob mentality, social justice, it just doesn't work. You just make us all look like a bunch of clowns who just go around trying to ruin people's lives because they don't meet our perfect standard of what we believe they should say or what we believe they should do and what they should boycott, etc. It's just so counterproductive, and it just makes us all look like idiots. So please, for the love of God, stop this shit. And if you're going to boycott something, at least have a valid reason to boycott it and not some stupid that you read on Reddit or something like that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go ahead to Starbucks and get a vanilla latte.
A bone of contention a number of people had with Tipster's take here is that his grievances at those who boycott only seem to be in the direction of food and drink. I think there's a fat joke in there, and that's what they're implying. My view is boycotts, for the most part, don't generally lead to much in the way of change. Bud Light is the exception that proves the rule, I guess. That was quite delectable. It was a treat. I thoroughly enjoyed it, like a high-quality single malt. In this, though, the message he says, though, as a by and large wider message, I agree with him, though. I actually agree if you use it as a general statement. Towing the line, tribalism, I don't care for any of that. I don't care for any of the buzzwords either, but that is what you get. It's part and parcel when you align yourselves with certain groups. You, Mr. Tipster, king of the Madood and the Tip, must surely understand that. You are, after all, a part of a group and mob mentality. Whether you like it or not, it is what you signed up for. And at this point, you have paid the price, Tipster. You've paid a significant price when it comes to your videos, because your videos don't get anywhere near the number of views your streams get, but you don't stream as often on YouTube as you used to. So you, as a creator, have suffered the price for aligning with these groups in the first place that endorse these kind of boycotts, unless it involves food, in which case you're completely removed from it for no reason whatsoever. We're going to swing back to Dexter because this one tickled me. South Korean EAFC pro found guilty of faking a low IQ to avoid mandatory military service. They also tweeted out an article. The pro is Won Chang-yeon. Chang-yeon was found guilty of faking an IQ of 53. An average IQ is considered that between 85 and 115. If your IQ gets too low, you are considered, well, mentally handicapped. 53 would certainly qualify for that. A learning disability, yes. If it's over 130, it indicates a form of giftedness. To go so brazen with such a low IQ would surely draw the attention of your South Korean officials, where it is mandatory you perform military service for a number of years. Wan Changyon had been cleared of military service, or active duty especially, following grades and the state physical examination. Now, regardless of the grades being low, Wan Changyon would still have to be required to serve as a social service personnel, but the police caught wind of him faking the psychological test answers, and he ended up getting indicted for draft dodging. On the 29th of January this year, he was found guilty of violating the Military Service Act, and as a consequence, was sentenced to 1 year in jail and now has to complete 120 hours of community service. I took the liberty of looking up their YouTube channel. They'd actually retired from being a professional EAFC player back in August when this all started to unravel for them. And at time of recording, they haven't had a new video published on their channel in 4 days, but it got a nice spike in views, so I guess they'll have some money when they leave, right? Like a couple quid. Yay for them. Bell end. Memology 101. On the left, you have the screenwriter of 2 of the Batman Arkham games, writer of the 90s Batman series and co-creator of Harley Quinn. On the right, you have 2 writers of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, one of them being the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. It all makes sense now. Included pictures of relevant parties. Reply underneath, so you're saying you're racist and misogynistic? And It's a Gundam makes so much sense now. I'm not going to judge people based on appearance, but from what I've heard about Kill the Justice League, it's a big disappointment akin to that of the Avengers game. Which is a shame really, because from the clips I'd been seeing doing their rounds, I felt it had great potential, but I'd seen Muta tweet a lot about Kill the Justice League and being very disappointed with not only the live aspect of it, but the reliance on what can be considered a co-op aspect. Some people just want to play a campaign and have fun with it, you know, but also this dependence I'm not fond of. You can make arguments about those involved and what they think the audience want, but the reality is the guy on the left has a very successful catalogue to prove their credentials at what they can do. Those on the right have written something, well, 2 of them being writers for it, have written a story that had potential, but a lot of it was let down not only by the writing but also by the mechanics and the live aspect as well. Cringe, shit, see yourself out. What a shame. I guess I'll wait till it's £5 on Steam and buy that like I did the Avengers game. And maybe I'll play it one day. The final subject I would like to talk about is Pokimane is leaving Twitch, tweeting out the end of an era. Twitch has been my home for a decade, but it's time to say thank you for all the memories and love during my League, Fortnite and Among Us days. It wasn't that long ago, Pokimane was dunking on those who got exclusive deals with alternative platforms like Kick. To me that seemed like Pokimane was going to bat for Twitch because she had an exclusive deal. She is one of the biggest names after all and has used that platform to push essentially a repackaged, already existing cookie under the guise of, but it has this vitamin in that there's more of, and like you wouldn't have to go outside at all, appealing to the simps that live in the fabled and mythical shrine of their basement. But apparently, Pokimane no longer is tethered to such an agreement. Pokimane had put out a tweet also talking about her Spotify podcast where she talked about the platform's exclusivity contracts and provides a snippet of it. Not going to play that because it has music in and I don't care really. She cited her managers in the clip as being a reason why she wouldn't share much anyway. She also, and pinned this to her profile for a time, tweeted,
I want to clarify I'm not signed to YouTube or Kick or any streaming site, Lamau. Don't believe the clickbait.
That's how she sounds, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. I'm free as a bird, I'll stream anywhere, anytime. Kick replying, Cap. Pokimane, let's explore something new together, no strings attached. My first ever YouTube stream tomorrow. Yay, how exciting. In truth, I don't really care where Pokimane streams. I don't watch her content, it's not my place to judge the kind of content she makes either. It is fascinating she's leaving Twitch as a full-time Twitch streamer. That's important here because there's nothing saying she won't continue to stream there. She has indicated she will stream anywhere she wants, at any time she wants, and that's totally fine. It's also a good fail-safe if you go to alternative platforms and you don't do as well. Numbers are quite important. It can be argued Twitch offers a greater reward when it comes to bits through extensions, right? Subs, yes? But then also if you're on YouTube, you have super chats, you have super thanks, you have an interesting share. And there's always a chance that an alternative platform will offer her an exclusive deal, where she can then go and hawk those highly successful cookies at us again. That would totally not a rip-off of somebody else's recipe, just with more vitamin D in them.